the mic. Hold on, you got. Jimmy, s'il vous plaît.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir. I'll sit here. How's everyone doing? Yeah. Thank you, thank you. It's wonderful to be back.
Super.
Yeah, sure.
It's a real pleasure and honor to meet you, man.
Yes, we worked on Fandom together many years ago, and I thought you were definitely one of the highlights of the event, and it's so awesome to meet you in person. So.
Wow, ok. Alors, ce qui vient de dire, c'est qu'on a eu l'occasion de travailler ensemble pour le DC Fandom. Qui avait déjà vu le DC Fandom? Et donc on avait travaillé ensemble pour le DC Fandom et il m'a donc félicité sur le travail que j'ai fait là-dedans. Donc là tout de suite je suis un petit peu au max de moi-même. Ok. Bon. Alors I would love to talk about like all of your work and but before I would want you to say a little word about all these French fans coming to see you today. How does it feel for you? Are you still in awe when you see all that, or is it like a regular day now?
No, this is always amazing. It always feels like a dream to me because when I was a little kid, I was reading comic books, and it was obviously not a big deal like it is today. And I always wanted to be an artist, a comic book artist, but I never thought one day I would be here in Paris, France, on a stage, talking to people that love comic books, love DC Comics, and have followed my own career. It's really like a dream. It's an amazing, amazing fantasy.
Wow. Donc pour lui c'est vraiment un rêve, parce que je lui demandais comment il se sent un petit peu avec justement tous ces fans français qui sont ici, qui sont venus le voir, qu'est-ce que ça lui fait un petit peu. Et il me disait que voilà, quand il a commencé au début de sa carrière, il s'imaginait pas qu'il se retrouverait aujourd'hui à parler donc à l'autre bout du monde avec des fans qui suivent sa carrière, alors que voilà, lui quand il a commencé, disons que les comics n'étaient pas aussi populaires qu'ils le sont aujourd'hui. And I think it's a great thing that now comic books and pop culture in general is so in the culture now. Everybody talks about comic books. Everybody knows Batman, right?
There's a comic book convention every weekend somewhere in the world. And to have one here in France, probably in Paris, which I think is the most beautiful city in the world.
Oui, Paris, c'est la plus belle du monde. Oui.
This morning, I went to the Musée d'Orsay, excuse my French,
yes.
And it was like social media, but in real life. Every painting I saw, it just gave me such a serotonin rush. It was amazing, really beautiful. The whole city, every street, I just love walking around.
Les amis, est-ce qu'on peut applaudir ça s'il vous plaît? Il adore Paris, et nous, on peut lui dire que Paris l'aime. You love Paris, and you know what? Paris loves you, and it's a real honor. So, I feel like we should talk about Batman. On parle de Batman un peu ou pas? Alright, so let's jump into it. So I have a very, very important question. Do you consider that Batman is more of a detective or a vigilante? Est-ce que Batman est plus un détective ou finalement un justicier?
Détective?
Détective? Ok, levez le main pour ceux qui pensent que c'est un détective. Ok, qui pense que c'est un justicier?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So what do you say?
That is look. The beauty of Batman is that he is both, right? You could do a story like Matt Reeves' Batman, where he's a detective, and you see his intelligence and all the years of training, but at the same time, he's also a vigilante. His motivation is to prevent the tragedy that happened to him as a child, right? And so he's taking the law into his own hands, and so that's a very powerful and sometimes ugly sort of ambition, and I think it's a very interesting duality to the character that he has both sort of this emotional need, but he's also very intellectual and cunning.
Il est. Donc, bien évidemment, quand on regarde un film comme par exemple The Batman avec donc de Matrice avec Robert Pattinson, on a une version beaucoup plus du coup détective, mais ça reste aussi un justicier qui a besoin de régler un petit peu ses traumas d'enfance de manière parfois pas très jolie, en tapant des méchants, mais c'est aussi quelqu'un qui a besoin de prendre la loi, en tout cas de régler parfois des problèmes juridiques lui-même. Disons que voilà, en termes de loi, il n'est pas au maximum du respect, mais ça reste quelqu'un qu'on aime. And I would like to know, why do you think Batman is so popular? Pourquoi on aime à ce point Batman? Pourquoi Batman est si populaire?
Yeah, look, I think he's like you and me, except he has a lot more money.
Yeah, a lot more, because when you say you and me, I'm like, maybe you, but I don't have that money.
But I think it's because he doesn't have superpowers, right? And yet he's able to stand next to Wonder Woman and Superman and be as important as and effective, and in a way that makes him even more special because he's doing it without powers.
C'est quelqu'un qui est finalement comme nous, même s'il a bien plus d'argent que nous. Enfin, chacun, je ne connais pas vos comptes bancaires, I don't know if you guys have that money, but maybe you do. Mais en tout cas, voilà, c'est quelqu'un qui est comme nous, il a beaucoup d'argent certes, mais c'est un humain, et cet humain, il arrive malgré tout à être aux côtés de Superman, de Wonder Woman, et de ne pas paraître ridicule du tout. Au contraire, il est tout aussi important que tous ces autres héros. Et I think it would be awesome if it was just not only me asking you questions, right? I think they have also a lot of questions, right? Yeah. They came all the way to see you guys, to see you, so I think, je crois qu'on a des micros, on a un micro. Est-ce qu'on a déjà notre première question ou pas encore? On a notre première question.
Nice to meet you here. So I think all fans of Batman was asking themselves this question, so this is one for you. Which one from movies, characters, is the best for you?
Oh, yeah. This is not going to be put on the internet, right?
It's just us. There's no cameras.
Us people. Look, they're like children to me, and you love all your children equally. So that said, I think the Dark Knight movie, to me, is not just a great superhero movie. It's not just a great Batman movie. It is a fucking amazing movie. Period. I can only curse here because
yes, you can. No problem.
No, but it's a great movie. And it just worked on so many different levels, and it kind of really showed to me how Batman and the Joker are different, but at the same time they share a sort of core brokenness, right? And then I think that is part of the appeal of Batman, is that something horrible happened to him, but he made choices and he became a hero. And characters like the Joker or any other supervillain, bad things happened to them, and they made different choices and ended up very differently, right?
Right, definitely. Donc la question, c'était évidemment quel était son Batman préféré en termes de film. Donc il précise bien évidemment, Jim, que ce sont un peu comme ses enfants. Chacun de ses films, donc c'est difficile de choisir, il les aime tous, mais il a précisé quand même que The Dark Knight, c'était quelque chose de très important pour lui. C'est à la fois un bon film de super-héros, un bon film Batman, mais aussi juste un putain de bon film, le putain je le cite, c'est vraiment un truc qui est vraiment super cool pour lui et très important, parce que ça nous montre avec justement cette dualité. On a le Batman à qui il arrivait des choses horribles et il décide de rester quand même un héros, et on a le Joker qui lui arrivait des choses horribles mais il prend une autre direction, donc c'est ce qui le rend intéressant. And also, I have to say,
but I also love Matt Reeves' Batman.
But you also love Batman, right?
Because of the psychological thriller part and the detective story. You're trying to figure out what the story is. And then obviously with Colin Farrell as the Penguin, unrecognizable, but such a powerful rendition of that character. So every movie has like amazing things. Even some of the movies like Batman and Robin. Right. To me, I love some of the design of how Gotham City was brought to life. To me, every movie offers something really cool.
Chaque film offre quelque chose de différent et quelque chose de cool. Il adore bien évidemment la version de Matt Reeves qui va lui donner donc la version beaucoup plus détective du personnage, mais il va aussi avoir de l'affection pour Batman et Robin, où il va adorer la manière dont Gotham a été mis à l'écran. Et donc voilà, on fait vraiment des versions en plus courtes pour qu'on puisse accélérer. But I wanted to know, why do you think what makes Batman so interesting to work on? Qu'est-ce qui fait que Batman est si intéressant de travailler dessus?
Yeah, I think it's because we can really identify with this character. Something horrible has happened to him. Obviously, not all of us had our parents murdered in front of us, but we all go through tragedy. We all go through life challenges, and he took that moment and took a vow to make sure that this would never happen to anyone else again, and dedicated his life to it.
Do you think it's healthy, even for him?
No, probably not, honestly. And in fact, I think in the Flash movie, they said, you know, maybe you could use your billions of dollars to, you know, create programs to help people in need. You don't need to go and beat up each criminal one by one. So I think he's a very flawed character, but also very aspirational, and in a way shows you what dedication and training can do to your life and how you overcome tragedy in your life.
Pourquoi il est si intéressant de travailler dessus, Batman? Parce que Batman, on peut tous s'identifier. Batman, il a vécu une tragédie. Évidemment, on n'a pas vécu ces tragédies-là et on ne les souhaite à personne. Mais ce qui est sûr, c'est que voilà, c'est un personnage auquel on peut s'identifier et ça lui donne quelque chose où on a vraiment envie de le connaître. Moi, je me suis demandé si c'était un petit peu sain pour lui d'être Batman. Est-ce qu'il n'aurait pas pu utiliser son argent pour faire autre chose? Et il répond que même dans le film The Flash, Flash lui dit ouais, mais tu pourrais pas utiliser tous tes sous pour faire des programmes, pour aider les gens. Bah non, il préfère quand même largement taper sur les gens, quoi. Alors, est-ce que vous avez des questions? Évidemment, we got questions. The mic is coming to you. What's your name, my friend, and where are you from?
My name is Mundar. I come from Baghdad.
You come from Baghdad. All right, that's what's up.
There was two kings who wrote Batman, Jim Aparo and Donny Newton. What that means for you to be the third king now who wrote Batman?
Who was the second one? I heard the first one.
Don Newton.
Don Newton. Oh, okay, you're digging deep. I love Don Newton. He drew a character called the Spider, which is fantastic. And obviously Jim Aparo did a lot of those comics in the 70s. I also love Marshall Rogers, Neil Adams, of course, Frank Miller, David Mazzucchelli. Some of the very best artists in comics have worked on Batman. So when I did my story, Batman Silence, or Hush, you know, it was very intimidating, but at the same time, it made me want to, we say, raise our game, or, you know, up our game, make sure that you want to do the very best work, because you don't want to look, you know, bad in front of all these other creative giants. But I love all those guys.
I want to jump in right into it, because if I'm correct, your father wanted you to be a doctor.
Yeah, that's right. Right. Yeah. So
and now we're in front of a bunch of nerds and talking about Batman.
It's a twist.
How did that happen?
Yeah. I always loved comics, just like you guys. But my family, we moved from Seoul, South Korea, to the United States. My father was a doctor. He wanted me to follow in his footsteps and become a doctor. And I told him, like, I want to draw people wearing underwear and jumping through space. And
he must have went crazy. I want to draw people wearing underwear.
Outside of their clothes. Honestly, it was a very tough, emotional conversation. But in many ways, it brought us closer together, because they saw me for who I am. And now they're my biggest fans. They come to comic book conventions. They wait in line for my signature, and I go, we were just at my house. I could have signed these comic books for you this morning. And they go, no, we want to be here. We want to be part of the spectacle, the experience of it. And so when I go to San Diego Comic-Con, they drive from LA, they wait in line for hours, and I go, what are you doing here?
You wait in line?
Yes.
The
DC line.
The DC line, you wait for it. That is crazy. But you made your parents proud, and that's
they are very proud, and I'm very thankful that they were open-minded and allowed me to pursue my true passion.
That's fantastic. Donc la question initiale, c'était donc de savoir quel était l'effet que ça lui faisait de finalement rejoindre cette longue lignée, cette longue lignée de créateurs et de writers et donc, autour de Batman. Et donc voilà, forcément, c'est un truc qui était intimidant pour lui au début, mais voilà, aujourd'hui, il est vraiment extrêmement fier. Et en parlant de fierté, je lui posais la question parce que son père, à la base, voulait qu'il soit docteur. Initialement. Et lui, il lui a dit un jour, écoute papa, je suis désolé, je sais que tu voudrais que je sois docteur, mais moi en fait j'ai juste envie de dessiner des gens en sous-vêtements, en tout cas qui portent du latex. Et finalement ça a été une conversation très émotionnelle, une conversation qui n'a pas forcément été facile, mais qui finalement les a rapprochés. parce qu'aujourd'hui ses parents sont très fiers de lui, ils viennent pour le Comic Con San Diego et ils attendent, ils prennent la file d'attente sur la ligne d'ici, alors que bien évidemment ils pourraient rentrer ultra facile, mais voilà, ils attendent et ils veulent aussi participer à l'expérience, être comme nous des geeks et avoir la signature de Jim Lee, leur fils. Et donc lui-même il est en train de se dire mais qu'est-ce que vous faites, pourquoi? Et voilà, et en tout cas eux ils veulent participer à ça et ils sont très très fiers aujourd'hui. Et ça je pense que les amis, est-ce qu'on peut juste applaudir ce truc-là? Il a rendu ses parents fiers. Ça c'est extraordinaire. Malheureusement je fais qu'une seule question parce que je sais que c'est très rapide mon ami, je suis désolé, mais on va essayer de faire d'autres pour plein de gens parce que vous avez vu on est nombreux. Si chacun pose 3-4, on est fichu.
I understood that, even though I don't know any French. Yes, of course, you're a professional.
I'm so sorry, Ross.
Thank you very much for your question.
You know it's all love.
Comics from the 70s and 80s, yes.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Nice to meet you. I'm from Brazil. So, after such a published career you have, what is stories that you didn't tell that you want to be part of, related to Batman or the character? What is, the 10 years ago, what is missing maybe your career that you want to be part of?
My career?
Yeah.
There's many things I still want to do. In fact, since I've been here and meeting with a lot of the fans here, like Hugo and Dylan, they were asking me like, when are you going to come back and draw more stories? And honestly, I want to do more. It's just finding the time to do it. But I would love to do a run on Legion of Superheroes. Those were characters I loved as a kid. Since I've worked on Superman and Batman, it'd be awesome to do a run on Wonder Woman. The other day I was thinking about even Sergeant Rock. And I think just walking around the city, it fills me with inspiration. And I go like, I can do this, I can do this. I should probably move to Paris.
Yes, you should. Yes, you should.
No, my wife wants to come here for this whole summer. So maybe one day we'll just all hang out here together.
Ok, alors là, on vient juste d'avoir une potentielle proposition de Jim Lee de faire une soirée avec lui quand il va s'installer à Paris. Non, en tout cas, ce qui est très intéressant, c'est la question, c'est qu'est-ce qu'il pourrait faire de plus, qu'est-ce qui lui manque un peu dans sa carrière. Et donc, il disait que voilà, il a travaillé sur beaucoup de choses, et là, il lui manque peut-être du temps, mais il aimerait certainement beaucoup refaire un run sur Superman, peut-être sur Wonder Woman, ce qui serait quand même assez ouf. Vous seriez chaud de voir travailler sur Wonder Woman ou pas? Yeah, we'd love to see you do like a run on Wonder Woman, so maybe. Et bien évidemment, il est très inspiré en marchant dans les rues de Paris, et donc potentiellement peut-être qu'il devrait s'installer ici. Et oui, on veut Jimmy à Paris. On est tous d'accord, je pense, là-dessus. So I had another question, and then we'll jump right into it. Don't worry. How did you? Because we know that you've been working in the comic books industry for a long time, right? But how did you start to work with DC?
Gosh, I started my career at Marvel for 6 years. I left and started a company called Image Comics. And then I sold my part of Image Comics to DC. So it started as a business transaction because I wanted to be part of DC's larger company. I wanted to hand off the business functions to them so I could focus on the creative. That allowed me to do things like Batman Hush, Superman for Tomorrow. But then I did more and more of the business, and they liked how I was running things, and so they promoted me to president of DC. And so that's a full-time job, but I still like to draw at night and weekends, and so it's finding the balance between the two right now that is the most challenging.
Would you consider yourself now more of an artist or a businessman?
It depends on the situation, right? It's like there's a character called Ultra Boy,
right?
And he has the powers of Superman or Superboy, but he can only use his power one power at a time. He can either fly or use his heat beams or unibeams or univision, or he could be invulnerable. I feel a lot of times like Ultra Boy.
You can only pick one moment depending on the situation.
Yeah, right. That's right. And then when I come to Paris, I feel like Matter Eater Lad. He's the power to eat anything and everything. So I kind of jump between different characters.
What's your favorite food in Paris so far?
I like the cheese fondue. It's been fantastic. But all of it is amazing.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Alright, so je me rappelle même plus de la question initiale. La question c'était donc comment il s'était retrouvé à travailler sur DC, parce que voilà, il a travaillé pendant 6 ans chez Marvel, donc la question c'est voilà, comment ça s'est passé. Donc il a ensuite quitté Marvel pour créer avec d'autres artistes Image Comics, et derrière il y a eu d'abord un business deal qui s'est fait avec DC, et finalement au fur et à mesure il voulait d'abord quand même bosser donc Batman Silence par exemple. Mais il a tellement fait de business qu'ils se sont dit attends, ça peut être quand même très intéressant de travailler avec lui sur un aspect beaucoup plus business. Et je lui demandais est-ce qu'il se considère comme un artiste ou comme un businessman aujourd'hui, et il me répond que c'est en fonction de la situation, un petit peu à la Ultra Boy qui peut pas choisir, qui peut pas utiliser tous ses pouvoirs en même temps. Bah lui voilà, parfois il peut juste être un artiste ou un businessman, et quand il vient à Paris pour le coup là c'est un autre pouvoir qu'il a cette fois, c'est il mange beaucoup, il adore la fondue. Donc voilà, s'il y a des fans de fondue, vous avez un point commun avec Jim Lee, ce qui malheureusement pas mon cas, je déteste le fromage. Yeah, I just hate cheese, man. I don't know.
Macaron?
Oh, macaron is good.
Yeah, we took a cooking class to make macarons.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
In Paris?
Yes.
That's crazy. That's right. Donc il a pris des cours de cuisine à Paris, ils se sont amusés à faire des macarons. Voilà, donc non, je vous dis, il va devenir parisien dans pas longtemps. So yeah, like a Parisian is growing to like into great.
Mine were hard as rocks, but it was still fun to make. It was still fun to make.
All right. So, on avait une autre question. Ah non, mais c'était pour toi.